Okay, guys. Top 8 most evil countries of all time. Here we go. 8th place, Nazi Germany. Dead toll 6 million people. Most well known and talked about genocide is led by Hitler's Germany against Jews from 1933 till 1945. It is estimated that more than 6 million Jews have died in gas chambers, buried alive, or a consequence of hunger and forced labor. There were over 220,000 concentration camps, out of which Auschwitz was most widely known. I don't know what the fuck that is. 7. Japan. Dead toll between 6 and 10 million people. The Japanese military regime, I think that's how you pronounce it, murdered between 6 and 10 million people from 1937 until 1945 in order to fulfill their mission and become the biggest power in Asia. In China, they slaughtered 300,000 civilians out of 600,000. Then in capital Nanking, in 1937, victims were soaked in gasoline and burned alive, while women were sexually assaulted, then brutally killed with bayonets so that they cannot testify. 6. French Empire. Believe it or not, French Empire 1534 till 1980 has caused the death of 10 million people on the territories of Asia, Africa and Europe and the Americas. French Empire was one of the most evil countries of all time during Napoleon. When he invaded Haiti, he forced slaves to collect sugar in order to stop them from eating sugar canes. He ordered to put muzzles on them. Napoleon also used to let dogs rip slaves in order to terrify the slaves in revolt. Oh my god. 5. Belgium. Death toll 10 million people. King of Belgium, Leopold II, known as one of the most evil rulers, has brought Congo and enslaved its people. In 50 years, an estimated 10 million people died under his rule. Leopold exploited villagers and made them work to death. Those who failed to succeed in collecting estimated quota on the fields were shot or had their limbs cut off. King Leopold II ruled from 1867 up to his death in 1909. My god, jeez. 4. The Soviet Union, aka Soviet Motherland. Death toll 20 million people. From 1922 till 1989, Stalinist regime had led to over 200 million of people deaths. The USSR instigated a regime of terror across territories of Russia and Eastern Europe. Their intention was to eliminate all non-communists and obviously make themselves one of the most evil countries on earth. They were sending prisoners to overcrowded gulags, camps in which people were condemned to starve, forced labor and execution, and one of the most evil techniques to get confused was the rat torture. They would put rats in cages on prisoners' abdomens, then they would heat the bars which made the rats escape to the human body. My god, Russia. My god, Russia. 3rd, China. Around 40 million people were killed from 1949 till 1975 under Mao Zedong regime. He was a Chinese communist and founding father of the People's Republic of China. When he governed from 1949 until his death in 1976, he was influenced by Marxist-Leninist theories, whereas his military strategies and political policies are known as Maoism, or in the other words, Marxism, Leninism, Maoism. My god, what a long ass name. 2nd, the Mongols. That told 40 million people. From 1206 till 1368, the Mongols slaughtered over 11% of the world's population, which is around 400 million people. Their goal was to conquer others and build the biggest empire the world has ever seen. Under their leader Genghis Khan, in the process, a lot of innocent civilians, including pregnant women, died. Their worst method of killing was catapulting corpses over city walls in order to infect entire populations. Okay, number 1. Here we go. Number 1, the British Empire. Death toll 150 million people. Finally, in the first place of most evil countries of all time is the British Empire. 1783-1997, British caused over 150 million deaths by conquering Asia, Europe and Africa. Throughout history, they are mostly known for the number of colonies. Most of the British atrocities were felt in India. Wow, great, India, wow. Where around 29 million people died out of starvation. Increased harvest taxation, I think that's how you pronounce it, caused Indian civilians to eat grass and human flesh in order to survive. Good grief. However, one of the most ruthless conquests was in 1800s when they annihilated Tasmania's indigenous people. British forced Aboriginal wives to carry the heads of their dead husband. Good grief, British. Good grief, UK. Good grief. Holy shit.